Yes, 1.73 has just been released today. 1.73 is the latest patch for War Thunder. It adds in the French aircraft, that is, or aircraft factory, if you want to call it that, along with 2 Italian premium tanks and a few other vehicles that aren't related to the French. As far as the Italian tanks go, there are only 2 premium vehicles available. These are pre-order packs, which I assume will be for the CBT for the Italian tanks, which again I assume will be in 1.75. 1.75 I'd expect to be dropped into the game probably or possibly just before Christmas, though I couldn't be certain with that. As far as this patch goes though, we've obviously been given the French territory, which is right here. There is a bit of a issue I have with this, sort of, a little bit. Well, yeah, in that they've done another copy paste from here. Well, I say here, 84 actually isn't available for the Americans, which is the incredible irony. More so considering this one's at 5.7 and not at a higher battle rate, because this is the 84, not the AD2, which is the one the Americans get. Yeah, that's a 5.7 battle rate. That's an 84. That's a Sky Raider. Above that, you've got a Bearcat. You've got a Super Cobra, or King Cobra. You've got a Hellcat. You've got another Hellcat. And then you've got a Helldiver. Those aren't French planes. None of those are French planes. That's 6 planes in this territory that aren't French. As far as other vehicles go, let's see, D520. That's a copy-paste plane from the British territory. No DB7 and no D521. So they didn't copy those over for some reason. They're not even here either. They are premium. Well, the DB7 is at least, but it's not there. As far as, anything else goes there though, we're going to have to wait and see. Basically, I'm going to have to unlock them and work my way through them. I am expecting the atypical, half-assed flight models for the most part. In fact, these planes here, these 6 ones here, these should have the most perfected flight models out of all of the aircraft in this territory. As far as I'm concerned, they've been in game. Well, that hasn't sort of, but it is the same aircraft. So in theory, the flight model is going to be very similar. These, I would say, have got. I wouldn't necessarily say that they are perfected, but they are much better than the initial flight models that, generally speaking, aircraft get in this game. And I'm going to be expecting to see a lot of magic with all of these French aircraft. Now then, what else do we have added in this patch? Well, not much. As I said, Italians have got tanks. They've got the P40, which is it is an actual Italian tank. I do know about this vehicle. It was kind of similar, well, effectiveness wise, it would be round about similar to the Panzer IV F2 or H models, I guess, or round about that level. And the other vehicle they've got is the M26 Ariete, which is a M26. No guesses where that came from. Yeah, it's a copy-paste from America. So that's it for the Italians, though. Italians, like I say, I assume are going to be dropped in just before Christmas. What their territory is going to look like, though, no idea yet. I've got a few ideas, I suppose. I can guess a little bit, but I'd rather wait and see to, see what they actually put into the game, because I could guess away, and it could be completely different to what they actually put in. Now then, as far as anything else that was added in goes, Japan have a new tank even added in. This one, the Hori production variant. This has a 105mm top 5 cannon, which is different to that one, and it's at a higher battle rate. Yeah, it does have better armor, a bit better armor, but that's a complete point difference in battle rating for something that has around about the same gun. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And let's see what else we've had. The Russians have a new modification for this, I believe, the P modification, that one, which gives a new missile, and I think that's about it. Yeah, and the final thing that's been thrown in with this patch is the Bangor Panda. There we go, which is something I'm familiar with. I've played that in Armored Warfare, and yeah, it's very effective in that game. In this game, I would probably expect it to be just as effective, if I'm completely honest. In fact, more so because of the way that the shot dynamics work, and that it's not a game based on hit points, unlike Armored Warfare. Now, it may actually, be pretty useful, but I don't have it at the moment, so I'm going to have to research that. That's going to take some time, quite some time, and I'll be doing that later. Well, soon to. As far as anything else goes, though, let's have a look. Gaijin have apparently changed the respawn protection mechanics. Kill areas have been decreased. New logic for enemy detection on the minimap near the respawn zones have been added, or has been added. That's a useful feature. It's not necessarily realistic, and the fact that they're lowering the size of the spawn protection areas is very weird, if I'm completely honest. The spawn protection system in itself, at the moment, from what I've seen of it, doesn't really work, and is a failure, in my opinion. They need to basically remove it and rework it, or just make maps bigger. That would be the easiest way to fix the issue with spawn camping, but we don't get that. Respawn protection mechanics have been added for the following locations: Abandoned Factory, Mozdok, Karelia, Normandy, White Rock Fortress, Ash River, Alpine Meadows, Berlin, Port Novorossiysk, Ardennes, Stalingrad, and Volodymyr. Yeah, Berlin didn't have one before, so we're going to be seeing that possibly. Or at least I'll have a look to see what it's like, and then I probably won't play it because it's Berlin. Let's see what else. Some improvements have been made and bugs have been fixed for the following locations: Novorossiysk, Belgium, Ash River, Japan, Honolulu, Dover Strait, Ardennes, and the 38th parallel. So that's kind of a very ambiguous admittance that there is something wrong with those maps, and they've been in game for God knows how long. Changes in the ground vehicle location, Eastern Europe, and the aircraft location, Sicily, have been made. Again, very ambiguous or vague comments as far as what they're changing. I really couldn't tell you what they've actually changed it. Let's see. Aircraft missions. Number of ground targets for low amount of players in game session from 11 to 21 has been increased. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, this is actually something that's kind of useful, semi-important sort of. In missions where runway length was less than 1200 meters, mainly 900 meters, original airfields have been replaced by new ones with a runway of 1200 meters. Now it is easier to take off and land. Now, that is something that is a good thing. It's still not a big enough change in my opinion, because I know that some aircraft will take longer than 1200 meters to take off in this game. Specifically, what aircraft I'm thinking of are things like, there we go, the Rodo, take off from 1600 meters, take off from 1500 meters. Let's see what the takeoff run is for the F-84. 1040 meters. Now, I'll almost put my money on it that this plane, the F-84, on these kind of maps that they're on about, that will still get an air spawn, because it really does struggle. to get airborne, and it needs a very good run up if it's carrying ordnance. Now, as far as the Erados go, they'll both get airborne still. I'll put money on that. Now, what this means for pretty much anything else, though, well, not much really. I suppose at the end of the day, it's going to be slightly easier to land if you're in a jet. Basically, is what they're saying. Not much easier, but slightly. Right. The accuracy of air defense covering ground targets has been reduced. I assume that means AA. Operation Counteroffensive, Operation Baston, Operation Henan Province, and Operation Fortification on Sicily have been rebalanced so that ground units are closer to the friendly team spawns. PVC allies had an advantage in these missions. Targets for bombing are now equally reachable by both teams. Operation Honolulu now has bombing zones, and it is impossible to destroy the enemy airfield. Yeah, I'm not sure about them if they're actually RB or AB, if I'm completely honest. It's very difficult to tell. These are lower ranked missions, so, yeah, but they don't say if it's arcade or realistic. Operation New Passage, bombing zones have been relocated, and air spawns for bombers are now equally distant, blah, blah, and similar things for Port Moresby. Right, now as far as ground vehicles go, there's been more changes. Some are reference changes, some are just kind of obvious changes that Gaijin are basically just catching up on stuff they should have done before. Now, by that, I mean things like smoke grenades. Yes, this old chestnut. Smoke grenades have been in for a while now, but they've not been available for all vehicles, and they're still not available for all vehicles from what I can tell. And we're still probably going to be waiting for them for quite some time. There we go, none for that. Let's see if there's any for the Panzer. No. Now, the irony being that obviously, oh, no, they're not actually modelled on this. I thought they were. I could be thinking of the second one maybe, or a different one altogether. But either way, yeah. No smoke grenades. As far as other vehicles go, though, yeah, it's a typical case of, you know, waiting for Gaijin to actually put things in that they should have put in months ago, or even when they actually added in smoke grenades. Right, now what else have we got? Aircraft model, damage model characteristics, and weaponry changes. Again, we've got a quite substantial list of vehicles that have been changed, and not all have sources. XF5F has had its offensive weapons have been corrected? Really? Have they actually changed this in a good way? Right, you piece of crap. No, it's still wrong. Lol. Wrong play, Gaijin. So they've changed it in no way, shape or form, and we're supposed to be happy with that. Yeah, that's brilliant, Guy Bib. I'm still not going to fly it because it's still got the wrong fucking weapons. And I've had that vehicle for 4 years now, and it's still got the wrong weapons. 4 years. At least I think it's 4 years. It may be 3.5, but it's a long time either way. What else have we got? And more flight model changes. Again, not all of them have references. Most of the references actually go to a form page, and yep, I can't check it with that browser, so I need to relog it onto something else. Graphics have been improved for water rendering, and this is another brilliant one. I did read this earlier. Economy and research. This is under the economy and research section, right? B-57A and the Canberra Mark B Mark II have both had their battle range changed to 7.7. What has that got to do with the economy and research? I ask you. Nothing, because it's battle rating changes. They've changed the battle ratings of those two aircraft. The Canberra was at 8.0. The B-57 in the last battle range changes was dropped down to 7.0 for some fucking retarded reason. And yeah, just two other minor changes with the economy and research bit. Interface. Red colour decals for all nations have been added for ease of use on winter camouflage. Right. Sounds. Some of the sounds have changed for some of the vehicles, so I've disabled the sound mod in the meantime so I can actually check that out. Just to see if they are really any better. So yeah, more to go on that as I play the game. Anything else? Not really, is what I would say. Alright, that's the patch kind of review done. So, I'm gonna try and do some stuff.